assistant ministers are all seated, and also to the press. Honorable Minister, please allow me to use your platform to congratulate the President for his deliberation at Washington, D.C.
Yes.
We were moved, we were impressed as his able lieutenant when he was presenting his case. So on today, we from the Ministry of Public Works will be giving you our plan of action for our ongoing works, and then we'll give you the key status of where we are and where we intend to go before the President ends. And we'll also be telling you on our new project that we're doing procurement for, and also we'll give you the brief understanding on our basic maintenance works. So to begin with, we will start with the initial Apollo was plan of action for road works in this dry season. This dry season that we are getting in, and let me just say this to say that our dry season now, we don't even know when it's supposed to start. Every time it rains, I feel frustrated because there are a lot of efforts to get applied. Then when it rains, we have to wait again for at least or even a week again before we get started. So I ask the public to join us, even though the rain is important for the farmer as well. But let us all pray to God in the need of sunshine now to do our works. So this dry season, let me call it this coming dry season, not over a year already, but this coming dry season is a very strategic one for the Ministry of Public Works. As you are aware, we have the pending presidential and general elections next year. And the national event, this national event is very much crucial to sustaining our peace and progresses we have made as a nation. As such, the need for good road and plywood roads for the effective execution for electoral activities cannot be overemphasized. As such, we as a ministry, including my very self, will leave our comfortable offices and be out in the field as usual. In the dry season, you will see the recommencement of active works on key road projects ongoing. Against this background, please permit me to lay emphasis on a few of those projects that, holding all things constant, will possibly be completed and dedicated by His Excellency President George Mananga before the expiration of his first term. The Kalokin to Fisher Road project, which is 80 kilometers, the Ganta to Sanikole Road project, which is 37 kilometers, the ELWA junction to Koklo Fibre junction is 6.1 kilometers, Banka to Salaye project 81 kilometers, Ganta to Sakepie Road, which is 39 kilometers, the Fishtown to Kilipo Road project, which is 20 kilometers, the rehabilitation of Freeport to Seaport Bridge project, which is 6.5 kilometers, the remaining portion of the Bonneville-Dixville Road corridor, the rehabilitation of Raversport to Martina Road project. Note, all of just mentioned projects will be possibly dedicated by the President effectively beginning next year and before the President's first term ends. Let me include the Sopime Road. Let me include the 540 Road. These are roads that we are just at the point of completion for the President's dedication. Finally, this dry season, we hope to establish a small-scale Ministry of Public Works road maintenance hub along major road corridors, including the Totan to Fishtown corridor, the Pecan to Badgerville corridor, and the Lofi Road corridor. It is anticipated that these small scale to minimum scale maintenance hubs will be operated by the Ministry of Public Works engineers and operators and equipment operators. During these maintenance, they are intended to keep major road pliable for our upcoming election or for our public. The starter of our ongoing projects, as we have just mentioned, will give you the status so you can be informed. The Banga to Saraye in Lofa County, the 81 kilometer. Of current, the percentage of work completed is about 63 to 65%. And that work is expected to be completed in July 2023. By the matter of fact, that was the first phase of the project that will be leading us to Medicoma. I think you listened to the president that there are a lot of engagement being made to his counterpart, and that the extension to Medicoma is actually, the conversation for the extension to Medicoma is on the way. So we are all hopeful, and the financier, the king in country, and we all visited the site, were impressed with what they saw. I'm sure and very, very sure that project will soon begin. Contact to Yegepa, which is actually 67 kilometers, but our concentration now is at the 37 kilometers because the next extensions, we are still having conversation with the Asla family, and there are a lot of fruitful conversation that we have been having. So that section, which is the 37 kilometer, the progress in terms of percentage is around 73%, and the remaining is around, the progress is around 73%, while about 19 out of the 37 have been paved with asphalt, what we call quota, between Ganta to Sunny College. The intended time of completion for that work should be in February. Ganta to Sakepie, which is 37 kilometers, or 39 kilometers, excuse me. The road works are currently ongoing with overall progress of 42%, while about 17 kilometers out of the 39 have been asphalted with vinyl coats. Sakepie to Tapeta is 61 kilometers in Lima County. The progress up to date, the relevant key sites of the contractor and the consultant are on site. They have commenced design activity along the corridor, and they have already identified the campsites, the quarry site, and the borrow pits. The detailed design for up to 53 kilometers is already completed with. Equipment mobilization is ongoing right now. Active road works will commence in this dry season. We were very hopeful for November, but we again have to push it to July or to December because of the climate change that we're all experiencing. Tapeta to Total. Procurement process for the selection of the design and build contractor is currently ongoing, and the signing of that contract is expected in the first quarter of next year. It could be January, February, or March. That's when we'll do the groundbreaking, and that project will actually get started. Gradually, we'll be here. Kelipu to Fishtown project, which is 20 kilometers. Correlated, there's a lot of work ongoing there. The contractor is now clearing, and the formation of that road, cross-drain projects are all of cross-drain activity is ongoing. So that is about was 6.5 kilometers. That aspect of that road works, we broke ground already. Contractor is mobilized and works has since started. If you're driving along the way, you'll see the new drains. As for yesterday, we saw some excavations going on. So we are intending to finish this work in 2023. Part of the project. We have the Bali Access Road, which is 3.6 kilometers. The design and build contract was already being looked at, meaning the projects are design build, the contractor bringing the design, and then the Ministry of Public Works go through everything, and changes was made. At this point, we have already reached a conclusion. The contractor is mobilized and work has since started. And we are hopeful that this work will be completed before the president first 10 minutes. We have Banjo Community Road. The progress of that road is about 90 to 95% of current, meaning the carriageway is completed with. The furnitures for the roads are ongoing, meaning the curbs, the side drains, those ones are ongoing. So we also pushing to have it completed in the first quarter of next year. So we got Nakatan Road. The contractor has started mobilizing of its equipment to get started. We are very hopeful that this song should continue so that the contractor can get started. So we're also hopeful that that work will also be completed in 2023. We have New Georgia Corwell to Dixville Road. The contractor is expected to pave anytime soon. Active work is ongoing yet. Those of you that live on that side, we are working and we are very much hopeful that the contractor will pave that section of the road in this December. We got Johnsonville training point to Barclay Road, sorry. The works are currently ongoing and works are expected to commence. The contractor is expected to do pavement in this 2022 going to 2023. Johnsonville turning point to Mount Coffee Road. The contractor has mobilized on site and drainage works are currently ongoing. Drainage work entails the bridges, the covers, and every channel that the water can pass through. So we have the overpass bridge. I just want to throw light on these ones because I know our unique journalists will ask or will be concerned to ask questions. The overpass bridge for our side is already done. The design aspect was completed with. We were briefed a few minutes ago by the team from the Chinese embassy that the procurement process is ongoing in China. So we are hopeful that it will finish so that we can get started in the first quarter of next year. So, like we said, the discussion on the way for financing and commencement of future project before the president first terms. They are the Konya to the side to Konya Road, which of course we said that the financier was in country and we assessed that road. So we are very hopeful that it will get started before the president's first term. The proposed modification of Tapeta to Totan length, which we just talked about, it entails the Totan to the Ivory Coast border, which is 10.5, and Totan to Seniwin which is 9.5 kilometers. It's all included in the process that we are discussing and is intended to get started in the first quarter of next year. The proposed 85 kilometer, which is from Solomon to Redview. Intense conversation is ongoing right now with the World Bank, and we have had several other discussions, so we are looking up for the finance minister. It's so important that he's not too well, so when you get back, we need to have some roundtable conversation. We'll have this aspect completed with. But from our side, we are doing all the paperwork for the procurement process to get started, while we are having the engagement with the finance ministry and the World Bank to see how we proceed with the financing aspect. So that's some of the major roads we got. The Soaking Road, the contractor has started paving already, and we are measuring the progress of what he has done so that he can receive some payment against what he has done to continue and finish it in the first quarter of next year. So we got a few maintenance work I want to highlight. We got the lateral road maintenance work from Rawville to Compass 2. The contractor have mobilized and there's intense ongoing work on that corridor. We also want to highlight the Clay Bow Water side to Thomasburg Road. There's a lot of work ongoing there. As a matter of fact, right now pavement is ongoing. So we are doing a maintenance on those corridors to ease our citizen on hardship of driving on by roads. We'll also be talking about the Liberia Road, that maintenance ongoing there too. We also want to be talking about the RTI to Greenville Road. I know right now people on that road, they are struggling to travel. That road is actually done by the Ministry of Public Works itself. We had to slow down the progress of our work because we noticed that the rain was so intense and we kept doing one thing over and over, so we had to slow down. So we want to show to the public that in this dry season, with the kind of strategy we are putting in place to introduce overall maintenance stuff, we will have a corridor plan for our people. We have the Gopher Road, the same thing. Works are ongoing, even though some areas are challenging. Or when the rain season, the dry season gets started, the dry season actually gets started, there will be a lot more done so our people can fly freely on our road. So we have the Salary to Konya, even though we're looking for the bigger phase of it to be financed, to be paved, but we still have to continue the maintenance aspect. It's on the way, the personnel, the mobilization of the personnel and the equipment is actually on the way. So you will see this dry season, the entire road will be passable. Whereas we're thinking about the bigger picture to do asphalt pavement, we will make sure that we maintain it so that our people can be able to fly freely. The same with Vonjoma to Foya, and Tapeta to Zliktan, and Zliktan to Jabotan. These are corridors that is currently being contracted for maintenance. So I want to speak a lot more, even though we have submitted our findings on the RI road to the Senate, but we are still tracking the progress on that corridor. The Ministry of Public Works as our own mandate to supervise and monitor. We are enforce our strength on the corridor on the contractor as we wait for the Senate to come up with their findings on the corridor. So I want to say thank you to our press. for your continued support to the Ministry of Public Works. And God bless us as we listen to your questions.
Engineer Jones, please come forward. Please come forward. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Minister. It's good to have you here this afternoon. My name is Maurice Oleti and I report for OKFM. Minister, immediately after, immediately you was confirmed by the Liberia Senate. You came here and then you unveiled your 90 days plans to us. So can you tell us how far which one of those any plan you have implemented as a minister? And the final one is that you also came here and talked about the J.J. John Bridge in Greenville. So how far is the project? Thank you.
Minister, we'll take 2 questions, then you respond.
Thank you so much. My name is Steven Ramos. I got some questions and concern. My first question to you you have actually been giving us updates on the president over state out of Liberia, where you have not told us the status of the ministers of finance, how is seen as responding to health. Please be able to tell us that. Honorable Minister of Public Works, firstly, let's commend your efforts in making sure that Liberia rules network can be implemented. Question. The first is, please, we are appealing that this government should be able to pay more attention on the RI because it's very cardinal to the identification of our country, where you get foreigners coming in, and that's the first place they plant before reaching the capital city. My concern has been the issue of maintenance of roads in our country. I mean, let's look at the Somalia Draft Highway. The drainages has been clogged. Majority of the drainages have been clogged as a result of flooding and deaths occupying those drainages. I mean, do you have plans, or are there any mechanism put into place in working with the city corporation sometimes, giving them all on as to how they can be able to maintain these roads? Because on many occasions, these are factors that lead to the lack of our roads lasting for a very long time. So maybe you can be able to tell us whether you've been working with city corporation after implementation of these roads to see how they will be able to maintain them.
Thank you. We'll take the next question. Thank you.
All right, my name is Oman Salif, and I report for the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation. So on yesterday, there was a press release by the Ministry of Public Works in relation to a black mayor. Can you please speak to that, saying you are behind the microphone? I just want the Ministry of Public Works page, and then I read it. Can you please speak to that? We've got thousands of Liberians now following. Thank you.
Well, my name is Christopher D. Kenneth. I report for Radio 5. Well, the last time the LEC boss appeared on a press conference, I asked him the same question, and he said the Ministry of Public Works were responsible for the pedestal being built on the route from SKD Boulevard to 72nd Junction, for the erection of the light posts, the street lights. What are you thinking about it, and how soon will the street light be installed on that route?
Where?
SKD Boulevard to 72nd Junction.
So we'll come back on a separate Okay. So 2 questions. Please can I conclude?
So good afternoon. G.H. Webster Plate. I write for Front-Page African newspaper. Minister, you talk much of our projects, and anywhere you talk about the RI road to some extent. Can you give some update? Is the committee on course? Is international committee? Is it that the committee on course, or you feel that they are not able to do work? Okay.
Finally.
Thank you very much, Minister. I'm Boxman Davis, National Hero. My concern have to do with Madam Bro's initiative, especially the central part of Monrovia, starting from Nico Street, crossing Ashland Street downwards, and then take Center Street, going almost passing the former Minister of Justice, going down the other side. What is the ministry doing about this connection? By Nipo Street, along Topo, crossing Nipo Street, the other entertainment part.
Is that a road project?
Yeah.
There's a road project right by the BWRS school, going downward the side by Nyata Family area. There's an opening. Then Center Street by former Minister of Justice. There's an opening. Demolished houses and shacks by Mary Bro, General Bro. What is
Mary Bro, General Bro.
So let me say thank you so much to every one of you for these beautiful questions. And that's why I let you always stand for this something to actions can bring waking the content or the country to actually the one we have. So for the J.J. Jones and the activities that should be ongoing on our project. So according to the other question, I came here and I said my plans are actually on the way. From what I said here, it was upon that we now got the plan to do the small and the medium maintenance hub at 3 different locations, because we went there, we drove on the corridor, we were on bad, and then we saw all of the critical sections, we felt the pain our people went through. So we were able to come up with that plan so that in the dry season we'll be able to restore those challenged corridors so that when the rain season comes again, at least it will be pliable. That's the first thing. Small roads that we have just mentioned in our plan, we told you that we were going to follow up and making sure that all of the old roads that were started, we are going to be pushing to have them completed. So in my mind, what we said, we are in lines with it, and we'll make sure that we deliver what we said. So the drainage for the Japan Freeway. Every time I drive there, I feel disappointed. And let me say this to say, please, the media, let us speak to this one. We ourselves, we're trying to create this problem. We take our garbage from in our homes, we dump it in the drainage in the streets. Right now, as we speak, the MCC, they are cleaning the drainages. And we probably watched this one Saturday. We were there to see how we can open up for the discharge point. In my mind, we are doing extremely well, but we need to do it together. Nobody should be doing what they're doing, taking the garbage, putting it. The water wouldn't go because it gets clogged. And MCC got more to do around town. We built a road, we maintain the road. We formed a small scale working group like 3 months ago. We call it the CBOs. We did a massive cleanup on our side. If you see it today, you feel discouraged. So let me let Ministers speak to talk to our people that are living along that road to please help us stop dumping in the drainage way. It's not only that corridor, even the RRA road, you get so frustrated. If you see people coming from their homes with garbage, so it needs some enforcement. It needs some enforcement. We're doing our part. It's a joint effort that we have started already. We're in touch with the police to see how best we can form a team that will keep monitoring these roads. Because in the night, midnight, you can't be there and you're stationed there and be watching people doing that. So that's one of the challenges we face as an institution. and we're trying to look for means, maybe probably from your end, from the media end. Let's start talking about it. In a little time you get to go live, let us say something about this thing so our people can understand that it's not good to dump garbage in the Jewish way. So some of our concern on the blackmails. I received calls from 5 of our contractors, but some of them have been giving money to somebody calling themselves me, asking them for money. So that's why we have to raise that, because we don't want to go beyond. At least I can come far for our contractors. Maybe if we have not come out to say this publicly, maybe go to 10, 15, 20. So that's why we came out to say that. So that's why we're asking the security apparatus to help us to track these people. We'll show them the institution that brief us so that they can make follow-up investigations so that we can do that. And by the matter of fact, all the numbers the people got, nothing is similar. So like the people, they have bought maybe 10 billion or SIM card and just use it. But I trust our security will be able to track this information. It's very serious. We will get the situation, but we need to highlight that people passing around, you see people need not me. Some of our, like the deputy minister, Minister Tour. I was in fish tank. I was sitting before the contractor when I was on our motorbike, and somebody was calling saying they were Minister Tour, asking that person to send them money while I was sitting right there. So it's not going to be happening to almost all of our, most people, but for me, that's something that is very, very fortunate at those people, because that's a lady who claim to be me. So I get the report, stop to that before there's time. And that information is going to take you to where I take you to, and I ask, I beg you, please use your various means, and also we can say out there. People use it to blackmail people to go out and say, somebody asking somebody for money. And the money they ask for, sometimes when you listen to that amount, it don't sound real. Like when I went there, the man told me the person who just called said they are doing some talk, have just called me then, and I gave that person $2,000. The boy said he was shocked because I was in the network area. So when I was passing through that fish tank, Kalipusa there on the motorbike, it was that time the person was actually doing what they were doing. And that man said he sent $2,000 on 2 different SIM cards. I didn't know said the SIM card got mobile money got limited. I guess a certain amount of money. Yeah, I didn't know that. So the man said because it couldn't go on one SIM card, the person had to send another SIM card again. And these are things that we need to flag. Sorry? US out $2,000, that's what I'm saying. The fish tank project, that was what happened there. So for the SKD Boulevard, we have the contractor. The contractor are putting the Kelly search. What changed or delayed the process a little bit, our first intention was to have the contractor use electricity. But we see the electricity aspect, it may not work too fast. So we call the contractor around the table for us to look at the solar light system. That's why they have not started, but we have bonfire and we have agreed to use the solar light on that corridor. Very soon you will see ongoing works and you will see those lights being lighted very soon. So some of our concern on RI Highway, like I said, we are tracking progress on RI Highway as we have submitted our findings to the Senate and we wait for the Senate request. Thank you and may God bless us.
Thank you for this. So the minister is one of the victims.